Land is an important key aspect of every goat farm. Land will lead to the success or to the failure of any farm anywhere all over the world. That said, there are quite a number of factors one should consider when you are looking for land to farm goats. My name is Grace Woji from Woji Farms once again. Are you new to our channel? Please click the subscription button and also do not forget to ring that bell. We are discussing the key aspects to look out for when you are looking for land to farm on goats. Every farmer should know the land size, how big. You should have an idea of how big the land you want to look out for. Basically, this implies that you should have a plan in mind. When I get this piece of land, what am I going to put on? Am I going to put on only goats? Do I plan to plant some matok on that same piece of land? So always have a plan. So the size will matter depending on how you planned as a farmer. These are things we never give attention to, but they are very key to the success of your farming life, to the success of your goat farm. Usually, the other pillar we should think of is you should make a plan. Make a plan once you have acquired that piece of land. Make a plan. What activities do you want? For example, I for one, when I started goat farming, in a year of diving into goat farming, we realized we are getting lots and lots of manure. And apart from selling it, we realized we are having excess of it because we had so many goats. And I opted to diversify to matoke farming because the manure from the goats ended up boosting the productivity for my matoke. So what is so hard here? These are things every farmer should consider before you dig in. Make a plan. I'm having my 5 acres. Do I plan to plant some maize there? Do I have a plan of keeping some local chicken? Have a plan. Actually, there are people now who you can hire to help you plan your farm, to avoid things being so expensive for you, to avoid making a lot of blunders. So always look out for these people to help you plan for that farm as soon as you get that land. Behind me, that is an anthill behind me. That anthill is where my goats play from. They are always running up and down. They just love it. Goats love being up. Why am I trying to introduce you to the anthill? I'm trying to introduce you to the topography or the terrain of the area you want to buy. Usually some of us make mistakes and we buy any piece of land we come across. Not all land you come to is good for your goats. Goats like areas that are gently sloping. Goats love areas that don't have a lot of water in them. A goat, if you want to have a successful farm, don't look for an area with a swamp on it. Okay, if it has a swamp on it, let it be at the extreme end of that piece of land, because at the end of the day, you will need water from that swamp for your goats. So don't specifically run away from swampy areas, but at least make sure if you are making a plan for your land and you have a swamp, make sure it is the extreme end of your farm. In your search for land, if you came across land that has lots and lots of anthills, please don't consider it as a wasted land. That is the perfect land for your goat farming venture. Why? Goats love the vegetation that grows on those anthills. Goats love climbing the hills. Goats love climbing the anthills. In the long run, they are already having an exercise of their own. They love it. They look so beautiful when they are climbing up and down. And if you are searching land and you happen to get land that is gently sloping but without any anthills, don't ignore that land, or don't say you are not going to buy that land. You can always improvise. I have areas in my farm where it is gently sloping but I don't have any anthills. What have I done? I brought in some huge stones to create that platform where my goats can rest, where my goats can play from. I also have areas where I've put like tables, kind of. I got a carpenter, got the tables for my goats to climb on. Basically, what you should all know, goats love being up. So ensure you improvise. If at all you have gotten that piece of land which does not have the anthills, don't ignore the land, take it on, but always improvise. Do not buy land which is too flat. For example, for those of you who usually travel on Masaka Road, just imagine you had bought land in Luera. You don't know when the lake is going to come back to reclaim its own space. So always avoid flat grounds for your goat farming venture. Naturally, goats love shrubs. Goats love natural vegetation. Always, in your bid to search for land, ensure that the land you are looking for has natural vegetation. Natural vegetation like shrubs, shrub trees. These are very excellent feeds for your goats. Actually, when you visit farms like in South Africa, they don't have a lot of grass. But what do their goats feed on? They feed a lot on acacia plants. These are shrub trees. Actually, in my observation, what I've observed, a farm which has lots and lots of shrubs, like the likes of acacia plants, they get so full very fast because they are eating lots and lots of protein content. So what stops you from having this land? If you have it, or if you happen to see it, that is a gold mine as a goat farmer. Always run for that land. For example, if you have been to Queen Elizabeth National Park, the vegetation there is so inviting. It's so lovely for goat farming. It has lots and lots of shrubs for goat farming. But remember, it's a national park. You're not allowed to graze there. But if we have been given a chance, that would be the perfect example I'm talking about for you to farm your goats on. That is the kind of vegetation every farmer should look out for when you are looking for land to farm on your goats. Have you ever been in a space where you are having people all the time, 24/7? You are always bickering, you are always fighting. How do I connect it to my next point? Neighborhood, when you are searching for land, matters a lot. Who is your neighbor? Is he going to give you peace once you buy land next to him? What do I mean by this? A number of us make mistakes. We buy land for livestock farming next to crop farmers. This is a big recipe for disaster. We are always bickering. So if you got a chance and you are looking for land, please, first priority should be to look for areas where there are other livestock farmers. Always have that soft spot for each other. We don't bicker so much, especially if our goats loiter into other people's lands. But let your goats loiter into somebody's garden. That will be another story to tell. So how do you go about it? If, for example, you have gotten land and it's in the middle of farmers who are growing crops, please, before you bring in goats, ensure you fence it off. We farm on quite a big piece of land, but especially in the dry seasons, my boys sometimes get naughty and they leave the goats to graze on their own. I've had incidents where goats end up in somebody's garden and this person has already sprayed carries a pesticide like paraquat, and that is a recipe for disaster. Because once they enter into that garden, just know you will lose a goat or two. Would you want to make such losses? So if you see such, ensure you avert the crisis before it happens. Always, first priority should be look around your neighborhood. Who are the people farming? What are they farming? Are they into livestock like you? That is the first priority. You should give that land. I'm not saying that you have land where they are farming crops that you shouldn't farm there. First, fence it off before you start to avoid that headache you'll have as a farmer. Assuming I'm a crop farmer and I've sprayed my garden against any pest, or I'm spraying against weeds, and your goats happen to loiter into my garden, do you think I will have poisoned your goats? Do you think you can report me anywhere? Think about it, farmers. Our next point and the last one is accessibility. Wogule taka, is it accessible? Where you're buying land, is it accessible? Accessibility, I mean, how is the road network? Some of you, we always go to your farms to buy goats from there, and actually even the smallest of trucks cannot reach there. We always have to ferry the goats from your farm to a distance of 1 to 2 kilometers. Have accessibility as one of the things before you look out for that land. Ensure that there is a plan for you to have a road connecting to your farm. Do you have power? Farmers need power. Or do you have a plan to have a solar on your farm? For instance, I am 14 kilometers away from the nearest trading center, that is Kakuto, and I'm just 5 kilometers away from the next trading center on the other side, which has all the amenities. There is a good road, there is electricity, but that has not stopped me from buying solar for my farm. Our farm is lit. We have power to charge our phones. We have the power to watch TV. Make a plan, farmers. And then other amenities one should have at the farm. You may think like it's a luxury, but one or the other, you will need internet on your farm. Without internet, life becomes so boring at the farm. Some of us have our own entertainment because we have internet at the farm. Without internet, life becomes boring as a farmer. Just imagine Grace without internet on this huge farm. Maybe I would be having no hair. Internet is a very key component as a farmer. If it wasn't for internet, you wouldn't be watching me on YouTube. We do the marketing, all the marketing on social media, but it is enabled because we have internet. Without internet, life is nothing. Let us embrace the technologies. The days of farming, like our grandparents, are over. Let's embrace new technology that is coming along. Grace Boji from Boji Farms. Please hit the subscription button. And also, do not forget to click on that bell. Thank you for watching.